Hi, welcome back to Beautiful Souls. This is James, also known as the Only Zerg. This will be part 4B. I had to cut the previous part short because I had to get ready and go to work. I'm finally able to finish the recording. But I wanted to get the first part of the video out before I went to work. So that being said, let's get back to our story. Izuku and Shota Shota had just come home, and Izuku got home. He spoke with his mom, and then he called his dad. And his dad asks him up front, and it's like, "Do you like this girl?" And he explains to his dad. And his dad asks him again. He's like, "So, do you like this girl's more than a friend?" And Izuku says, "Yeah, but it's weird. I've never felt like this towards someone." And Hasashi's like, "Okay, well, if it's that important to you, Izuku, I can call in a few favors, and I'll be there. I'll actually be back in a couple of days. I had planned on coming back before your first day, but I figure they won't get mad if I leave a few more days early, because I wanted to come and celebrate you getting into UA." And Izuki's like, "How do you know that, Dad?" And Hasashi's like, "Well, your mom told me." And Izuku's like, kind of grins because he wanted to tell his dad himself. So Hisashi arrives, and he opens the door and is immediately greeted by Inko, like giving him a hug and a kiss. And Izuku comes downstairs and hugs his dad. And Hisashi looks at him and it's like, "So, who's the girl that captured our young Izuku's heart?" And Izuku just, "Dad, it's not like that." And Sasha's like, "Well, probably not yet, but you like her more than a friend, so there's something there, right?" And Izuku's like, "Yeah, but her father's kind of scary. He is a pro hero." And Sasha's like, Sasha's like, "That's kind of funny." Reminiscing about a day when when Izuku first manifested his quirk. He was back in town and he went out to the bar. Him and another gentleman got really, really drunk. And they said a few things. So we cut back to the present, and Izuku explains that their parents want them to come over at this time, and they're going to have a dinner and discuss their children's relationship. And Izuku says that her dad basically wants to gauge the parents' personalities and get to know them if he's going to entrust other adults watching his baby girl. His words, not mine, Dad. And Masashi begins to think, seems kind of familiar. So the Midoriyas get ready, and they arrive a couple of hours, an hour or two after they left their house to the Todoroki residence. And Sasha's like, "Wow, they're rich." And Izuku's like, "Dad, it has nothing." And Sasha's like, "It's fine. It's Izuku, it's not that. It's just didn't think people of this caliber would hang out with people most people that are rich, they're kind of stuck up." And Izuku's like, "They're nothing like that, Dad. Matter of fact, her dad's kind of he's scary, but seems nice." And Hisashi kind of laughs. So he walks up to the door and rings the doorbell. And Inji answers the door, and he looks at it like Hisashi and Inji kind of have this, "What the fuck?" And both of them at the same time, Hisashi saying a name and Inji saying a name. So he says, Chili Pepper, wait, what the fuck are you doing here? Kind of moment. And Endeavor's like, Hash Brown, what the hell? And then, like, confusing looks of Ray, Inko, and the kids are just looking at their dads slash husbands like, what's going on here? And Angie turns to, like, Ray and just is like, this is the guy. And Ray's like, what? You mean to tell me? And she's like, yeah. And she's like, come in. And like, Angie and him just start busting out laughing because they start talking and kind of having like a sort of a bro moment. Like, and Endeavor's kids are looking at him because they've never seen this side of their father. They've never seen him like joking around with someone. And Ray says, dear, come on. Like, we still have to eat. Endeavor like kind of laughs and he brings Hasashi to the dining area, which Izuku and Shota are just sitting on the opposite sides, just kind of looking down, and both of them are slightly embarrassed. So then Inko pipes up and it's like, Hasashi dear, what's going on? How do you know the number 2 hero? And then Hasashi like speaks up and he's like, well, Inko dear, you remember when I came home like really hammered shortly after Izuku manifested his quirk? Well, I went out drinking to celebrate because you weren't feeling well, and I hadn't had like days off to where I could do something like that. And he's like, yeah, I remember. And Ray like then says, yeah, and well, Inji, he went out to the bar. We kind of had a fight. And Angie's like, yeah, and this guy right here, we talked, and, well, we drank a lot. And Hisashi says, drink a lot, that's an understatement. They pretty much checked us out because we drank half the freaking bar. And Endeavor kind of laughs at this, and he's like, so, Hasashi, like, your whole name's Midoriya Hasashi. I would have gotten in contact with you sooner, but I couldn't remember, like, your name. I only remembered, and Hasashi like says, yeah, I couldn't really remember your face too well either, and like your name, so that's why I never contacted. And then they look at their kids, and like Hasashi and Endeavor like kind of look at each other and then look back at their kids, and this is when Inji like tells the group that he would like to speak with. He asks the Midoriyas if he can speak with Izuku alone. And Shoto has this look of concern on her face, and rightfully so. So Endeavor leads Izuku to their gym, and Izuku is like a little nervous, and Endeavor kind of glares at him and flames up, like actually, like, because my understanding, Endeavor doesn't really shut his quirk off, but it's weird, like he completely activates his quirk, so like his trademark flaming beard and like hair kind of come out, and he turns to Izuku and he's like, so you want to date my daughter? If I would have known you were Hash Brown's kid, I probably would have stopped you guys right then and there. And Izuku's like, I didn't know anything about it, sir. I just found out today. And he's like, don't give me that crap. You knew the whole time and you didn't say anything. As Endeavor goes to, like, throw a punch at him, and Izuku blocks it, like, with his hand. He's like, I'm sorry, Endeavor, sir. I really didn't know anything. And Endeavor, like, notices the strength that Izuku has, and he stands up, and then he apologizes to Izuku, and he's like, young Midoriya, my apologies. I just had to test you out. In any case, what do you like? What is it about my daughter that you like? Because I'm not going to let what happened with me and Ray happen with my own kids. And Izuku looks up at Endeavor, and he actually sees, like, a look he's only seen his own father, like, exhibit. You know, like that that fatherly love look that fathers give their children or when they're talking about their kids. And Izuku grasps what Endeavor just did, and he's like, sir, about the whole quirk marriage, if I really don't know anything about that. And outside, like, Shoto is, like, getting picked on by her siblings. Like, they're saying, so, like, your boyfriend, it turns out he's actually your fiance. And she's like, you shut up! And Ray is speaking with Midoriya, and she says, no, don't worry, Inji's not going to hurt the kid. He's just testing him. I told him not to do it, but... And Ray says, he kind of has a stubborn point. And she looks over at Shoto, and she's like, and like father, like daughter, looking at Shoto, and Shoto just kind of gives her a look, and like her siblings, like, see, Sho, you even have dad's face. Mom's right. You two are stubborn to the core. Set in your own ways, always wanting to do it your way. And she kind of like punts like Toya for saying that with like an ice block. And then Ray says, but he has changed like lately. I think it had to do with... And then like Ray stops and the Midoriyas are concerned about this, and they're like, what? And Ray's like, don't think any different of me, but she looks at Shota like across the room, and she quiets down to where the kids can't overhear. You see Shota's scar? Like, I gave that to her, and well... And the Midoriyas are shocked, and they're like, what happened? What was the reason behind it? And Ray explains to them, and then she explains, like, it caused a lot of strife between me and Inji, how he was pushing the kids, but then after the accident with Shota, he kind of mellowed out, and then she says about 5 years after that, we got into a real fight because Shota came home with like a couple of cuts and bruises, and I just went off on him, and he like went out and apparently met you, Mr. Midoriya. And Hisashi says, Miss Todoroki, you don't have to be so formal with me. You can call me Hisashi, because I figure Hisashi would be that kind of friendly, like that friendly person that doesn't really like being called by their family name. Not because they don't like their family, but because they don't like being so formal. He is more of an informal guy, which is kind of something why him and Endeavor kind of got along, because like they kind of butted heads, and Endeavor kind of respected the fact that this dude wasn't treating him like the number 2 hero. He was just treating him like a normal person. So then Ray, like, I saw, she says, so what's Inji doing there with my kid? And Ray's like, well, he's testing him. He's going, like, he said he's going to test his strength to make sure that he's worthy of Shoto. And even more so after this whole thing. And then Ray says, about the quirk marriage, if you guys don't want to go through with it, I understand. But I've talked to my husband about it, and, well, if Shota doesn't want to do it, or even if your son doesn't want to go through with it, they don't have to. But Inko then speaks up, and it's like, yeah, but it seems like they do get along quite well. And so Ray, like, kind of smiles, and she's like, thank you, Miss Midoriya. And just like, you can just call me Inko. We're the same age. We're about the same age. Like, you... And Ray's like, well, then you can call me Ray. And so the evening splits up, and before that, Natsu's the other way. He's like, as the Midoriyas are leaving, he kind of grabs on to Izuku, and he kind of does like that whole big brother thing, along with Toya getting on his other side, and they kind of whisper into his ear. It's like, you heard our little show, you're gonna have to deal with us. And Izuku kind of gulps, and immediately, like, both of them get knocked in the back of the head with little icicles, like ice blocks, and they turn on, show, come on, we were just joking. We know you could probably beat both of our asses and even Dad's. This is when Ray kind of smacks him in the back of the head and says, language, you two. And Ray and Angie, like, thank the Midoriyas for coming over. And Angie and Hasashi kind of like, we've got to stay in touch. Like next time you're in Japan, Hasashi, look me up. It'd be nice to go out again. And this is when Ray says, oh, no, you won't. You're not going to go out drinking again. Last time you came home, you were a complete mess. And both Hasashi and Angie kind of laugh. And then when Angie comes back inside after the Midoriyas left, he's greeted with his 4 kids, and they're looking at him, and he's like, what? And this is when Shoto kind of speaks up, because the other 3 they're not scared of their father, they wouldn't dare speak to him the way Shoto does. And because they grew up really getting pushed by their father, and that fear has kind of subsided, but that instinct of not disrespecting him is still there. Shoto didn't really have the same upbringing as her 3 siblings. Plus, Endeavor won't admit it, but Shoto's his baby girl. So Shoto's like, Dad, what? We never thought you had that kind of side to you. And Endeavor's like, says, whatever, and walks past him. And he kind of turns to Shoto and like gives her a smile. So with that, you beautiful souls, I'm going to end this part here. I'm sorry I didn't tag, this wasn't part of the other part, but I didn't have time to finish the recording and I really needed to stop it. So that being said, I will see you beautiful souls in the next video. Like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already done so. Also, my 2K special has changed, and I will get the first series, the double series 2K special that I was planning on doing the 2 worlds, but I can't get personalities and stuff fixed in right ways that they could exist in that universe. So I'm going to be doing 2 series. One of them will come out later tonight, and then the other one will be tomorrow afternoon. So that being said, I will see you beautiful souls in the next video.